Hello and welcome to another edition of Currently in Quincy. I'm Joe Catalano. On today's program, we will catch up with Patrick Murphy of the South Shore YMCA about their Frozen 5K road race coming up this Sunday to be held virtually. First, though, we check the weather and the news for you. Currently in Quincy, it is bitter cold, 10 degrees right now with wind chills below zero under partly cloudy skies. Can't rule out a snow squall or a snow flurry later on today. Temperatures only in the teens, but that wind making it feel a lot colder. We drop down into the single digits again tonight with wind chills below zero. And the brutal blast of Arctic air is with us for most of the weekend. Lots of sunshine tomorrow, but it won't do much to warm us up. Only into the low 20s, a little better on Sunday. Mix of sun and clouds. Sunday's highs getting into the mid 20s. Then we're watching a storm for Monday afternoon into Tuesday. Could start out as a little mix on Monday with highs into the mid to upper 30s. Maybe a bigger snowstorm here on Tuesday. But again, partly sunny and 10 in Quincy right now. In the news today, City of Quincy is preparing to have its very own COVID-19 vaccination site. Mayor Thomas Koch says Mannett Community Health Center of Quincy will operate that vaccination clinic at 180 Old Colony Avenue. That's where Mannett's been running the COVID-19 testing site since December. Now, the mayor says residents in the next phase of the state's vaccination program will be able to make an appointment soon.
So right now we're putting together the logistics, working with Cynthia Sierra at Mannett. We expect probably by Monday that we'll begin taking registrations from people to get in the queue, if you will, to get the vaccination. There aren't the vaccinations sitting on a shelf right now. They're starting to come in, and they'll continue to roll in the coming days. So the important thing is for you to know that as of next week, for 75 years and older, we'll begin registering people. And so as the vaccinations come in, we'll be able to queue you up. We will make those numbers available to you in the coming days when we have everything settled. We just ask people to please be patient. There are not 5 million vaccines sitting on a shelf somewhere. They're coming from the federal government to the state, to the locality. So we're working with the state DPH doing that along with our own Department of Public Health, and of course, as I mentioned, Mannett Community Health Center.
Residents 75 and older are now eligible to receive a COVID-19 vaccine in Massachusetts. However, there have been significant delays in obtaining an appointment due to a vaccine shortage in the state. Earlier this week, Governor Baker urged patience as the vaccination program rolls out. Quincy School Committee Vice Chairman Anthony Andronico is the new Ward 2 City Councilor. Andronico was appointed to fill Brad Kroll's seat during a special meeting of the City Council earlier this week. Councilors voted 6-2 in favor of Andronico. During his swearing-in ceremony at City Hall yesterday, Andronico said his experience on the school committee has prepared him well for the challenges on the council.
I've built many personal connections and it's helped me realize that that's what public service is all about. It's about building those connections. It's about helping your neighbor. It's about helping your community and making sure that everyone in your community gets the opportunities that they deserve to thrive and to flourish. And I think back about my great-grandparents who emigrated from Italy over 100 years ago and settled down in Quincy Point and worked hard to make a better life for future generations of their family, including my father, Anthony Andronico, who also grew up in Quincy Point. And my promise to the people of Ward 2 and the people of Quincy is that I'll work hard to make sure that they get the same opportunities that the city afforded mine, and that I'll treat them like family moving forward as well. I'm looking forward to serving with Council President Liang, the other colleagues here on the City Council for what's best for the people of Quincy, and of course, partnering with the administration to move us forward as well. So with that, I want to thank you all for your support, and I look forward to working with you.
Andronico was selected over attorney Kenneth Ogden, Richard Ash of the Ward 2 Civic Association, Dana Harkin of the Penns Hill Neighborhood Association, and Mary Jo Brogna of the Quincy College Board of Governors. The councilors Nina Liang and Ann Mahoney voted for Brogna because she said she wouldn't run for the seat in the fall. A joint session of the City Council and School Committee will now be called to fill Andronico's school committee seat. City of Quincy has a new disaster response mobile command center vehicle. This new vehicle features state-of-the-art communications and information sharing systems. It's designed to support emergency response, continuity, and crisis management activities. The vehicle will be available to both the Quincy Police and Fire Departments during emergencies. Funding was provided by grants to the city from the U.S. Department of Homeland Security, the Urban Area Security Initiative, and the Federal Emergency Management Agency. Director Ali Sleeman of Quincy's Emergency Management facilitated the purchase of the vehicle. He had help from Quincy Police Lieutenant Robert Gillen and Officer Ken Wood. Quincy man's been charged with attacking another man with a machete in Quincy recently. 37-year-old Christopher Bell allegedly wielded that machete against the victim during an argument on Butler Road. Police say the unidentified victim fled the scene and was not hurt. Bell was charged with assault by means of a dangerous weapon. 51 acres around Wollaston Center are being targeted for redevelopments. The administration is asking the City Council to approve designating Wollaston Center as an urban revitalization district. That would allow the city to acquire properties, including the site of the former Wollaston Theater, for redevelopment. A consultant says the area along Hancock Street, Newport Avenue, and Beale Street is ripe for redevelopment because many of those properties are older or vacant. The city would flip the properties to a developer for mixed-use development. The proposal requires approval from the City Council, Planning Board, and the state. Some more changes on the Quincy Police Department. Recently, Officer James Parisi was promoted to sergeant during a socially distant ceremony at Quincy City Hall. Parisi is a 15-year veteran of the Quincy Police Department. His promotion comes as 15 new officers recently joined the force. Coming up, we chat with Patrick Murphy of the South Shore YMCA next.
Hey, Massachusetts, what do you want to get back to?
Giving hugs, seeing my friends.
Taking my wife dancing.
I want to get back to taking my kids on play dates.
I want to get back to Fenway.
I want to get back to partying.
We've worked hard, but we're not there yet. So we still need to wear a mask that covers your nose and mouth. Keep our distance, at least 6 feet apart. And get tested. It's free and available. We can get back masks. Learn how at mass.gov/getback.
Podcasting 101. Create your own podcast using the QATV audio suite. Learn the basics of the audio board, how to take phone calls, and add music from a CD, SD card, or your phone. Participants will also learn interview skills to help get the most out of your guest. To register for a session, email Carol Themin at cthemin@qatv.org or call 617-376-1440.
I think I finally found.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, Mason.
Hey, Mason.
Got a new house. It's looking pretty cool so far.
A place that I call home.
I'm teaching Louise how to cook some lasagna.
It only takes a spark to make a fire start.
The Dutch. Thank you.
Study, please.
I think I finally found a place to make my own. A place that I call home. This place that I call home.
I hear someone go, "Didn't it come from you guys?"
Strangers cough at me.
Move away from me.
Someone spit towards my direction. All the stereotypes that we've worked so hard to break are just going to be reversed. And I won't let that happen.
We all have to play our part.
I donate my plasma.
I've been making masks.
We deserve respect as much as everybody else.
I'm a firefighter, not a virus.
I'm a mask maker, not a virus.
I'm a nurse.
I'm a delivery woman, chef, a neighbor, artist,
Bus driver. I'm a doctor.
Fight the virus. Fight the virus.
Happy to welcome to the program today Patrick Murphy, Senior Executive Director at the South Shore YMCA here in Quincy, to chat about the Frozen 5K going virtual this year. Hi, Patrick. Nice to see you.
Good morning, Joe. Thank you very much for having us today. And what a fitting day to talk about the Frozen 5K, and we're happy to do so.
Yeah, as we're all going to be below frozen, it seems like this coming weekend for sure. But let's start out a little bit to ask you, how have you been able to put this event together during a pandemic?
Sure. Well, with every curveball that's occurred over the last, we're coming up on the year now, right? Almost the year mark. We've had to take a deep look at every single event that we have run, because with the YMCA and with a community organization like ourselves, our events are in person. It's great when we can gather large amounts of individuals, be that for a 5K, be that for our Taste of the South Shore event that we ran earlier this past fall. So with events like that, we've really had to take a hard look, because following state guidelines, not only local but federal, with any type of larger events, they are well down the road within the phases. And so with the 5K in particular, and we're seeing this now with the Boston Marathon as that's being pushed out potentially to October, phase 4 is really when road races of any size can come back in a live fashion. So when we took a look at this very special event, and this will be the 10th year of the Frozen 5K, we wanted to make sure it was an option for our members. And an option because not only is it a great fundraiser event that helps support those gain access to the YMCA, but it's always been that community event to get people out and running in January, because there's a little bit of fun to that as well. Even though they're bundled up, even though it could be a cold day, I know in years past they've had to push it off a week or two due to large snowstorms, but that's been kind of the allure to this race. So this year, we wanted to make sure to keep that going, but in a virtual sense. And by a virtual sense, we're asking our participants and community members to get up, get out, and get active on the 31st or that weekend, because we understand there could be conflicts with the day. But to get out there as an individual and traditionally run their route, whatever their favorite 5K route may be in and around their house, or head to a destination. I've heard that some people are heading down to the Cape Cod Canal to run. We've also enticed and really encouraged this year to make it a family activity. It doesn't just have to be a run. It could be a family hike, a walk, a bike ride, or other activities to get up and get moving, and really utilizing. Everyone these days either has an Apple Watch or a Fitbit or some sort of step counter, but get out there and really, can you do 3 miles today? And so be creative with that. And the last piece just with that one, as we're really trying to be creative with our current reopening standards, and as the YMCA here in Quincy, as well as our other branch in Hanover, the Emerson YMCA, as we're both open and safely open, are allowing members to come on in and utilize our facility that day. So be that the track, be that the treadmills, if they want to hop on an elliptical, if they want to use the pool as well. So doing it in a safe manner, but just as we are operating right now, we're welcoming individuals to come on inside that day to also complete their 5K.
Okay. Now, were you able to hold the event in person last year, Patrick?
Correct. Yes. This was a live event that was held right here at the 79 Coddington Street location. It was a fun family day activity. I know that through the support of the city, through the support of local agencies as well, it's really turned into that event where between shutting down the streets, getting the crowd out there, moving, running, walking, jogging, but then ultimately it would finish with a nice group gathering and a community feel within our field house. Unfortunately, that is not going to be the case this year. I do know Mr. Burke, and we really thank George Trigger Burke for his generosity, but also his leadership and guidance throughout the years, as he has been our event sponsor and is our event sponsor again this year. I know he's always taken pride, but also enjoyment of being our race marshal and being outside on the day of the race, really getting the crowd started. So it'll have a little different feel this year, but Mr. Burke, he did a phenomenal video that's on our website encouraging those to get up and get active on the 31st, but also why he's involved and why he really wanted to make sure this year continued as well.
Now, what are the funds raised at the Frozen 5K used for at the Y?
Sure. So with the funds that we raise on the 5K, those go into our general annual campaign. And so the dollars that are raised through our runners, we're able then to provide access to the YMCA in the form of financial assistance and financial aid. One of the beautiful things about the YMCA is that we will never turn away an individual or family for the inability to pay or afford our services. We have financial aid for membership, childcare, all programs, our summer camps, and everything in between that you really can think of that the YMCA offers. And that's what makes our organization special, because we want to make sure that we can be there for all. So through the generosity, not only of our sponsors, but our participants as well, we in turn are able to turn around the funds throughout the year to provide those scholarships and to provide that financial aid to those in our community who need it most.
About how much does the event typically raise, and how much are you hoping to raise this year?
Sure, yeah. So a typical year, and really we'll call it a baseline year, this is about a $30,000 event. And that's between sponsorships and race registrations. This year we've set, as we always do with the YMCA, we want to make sure to set our aggressive and realistic goals. And we are looking at that 28,000 to 30,000 mark this year. I'm proud to say we have our sponsors who have continued to stay with us through this, albeit a different looking event, which will clearly make it a success. And through our runners and our race registrations, we're looking to have about 150 take part this weekend in some sort of an activity. And between all of those, we're very confident we're going to hit our numbers, because it's about then providing that impact back into the community and those we serve afterwards.
Yeah, is that typically about how many folks participate in the 5K?
No. So for registrations, we're looking at, if it was a live or in-person event, we're probably looking at a 250 upwards to 300 individual and family type of goal. And we understand that there's different variables that come into play with that this year. But the nice part, and really as we're making our last pushes with registration, this is a 5K or an event that has no boundaries. And the way I say that is that just because I may reside within the community here, or if this was a typical year that I would be in Quincy for the event that day, well, now my family that may live in a different state, or friends that live in a different state, they can participate in this great event as well. You do not just need to be in Massachusetts, let alone the Quincy area, to do so, because you can get out, and get active on the 31st within your own state or within your own comfort. So for us, we are really trying to be creative to continue to push that as well. That's out there. But we do know that, yes, there are limitations, there's boundaries. We will be happy with a turnout of around 150 for Sunday, and we're really looking forward to promoting that within our social media avenues as well.
Yeah, it really has been one of the silver linings of this whole pandemic, is how folks have pivoted to virtual technology, which has expanded access to a lot of different groups and agencies and services that might not normally have had that much attention.
Correct. And I'm glad you mentioned virtual technology, because one thing that we're also really putting out there with our members and our participants, our YMCA, we're very fortunate to be part of a health and wellness app that is dedicated to the South Shore YMCA. And through that app, we actually have challenges that are in place for this weekend and Sunday that our members can take part, sign up virtually again, so a double virtual event that they can sign up through the app to participate amongst other members as well. And they'll be able to see tracking within there on the challenges, and again, build that sense of camaraderie that we may have had or should have had as a larger public event that would have been outside. So again, relying on technology, using it as our friend, but you said it perfect. In these times, we've really had to look and say, all right, how can we be creative, but also how can technology help push us forward?
Yeah, I know you've also offered some, online training with some of your instructors and some of the older folks and children as well. So, it really has filled a void. It certainly can't replace in-person meeting, but it's been a place of contact at least.
Right, and we're very excited about that. Not only for the present day and the event that we're holding, as we were able to do in-person couch to 5K trainings over the last several weeks, and we'll continue that throughout the entire year, and not just from a couch to 5K, but really helping those get back and get active. As we know, I'm a victim of it myself, and I shouldn't be. For where I do spend majority of my time within a YMCA. But there are a lot of our members and a lot of our community that, unfortunately, it has been a sedentary lifestyle over the last 7 to 9 months. And for many, that hasn't been by choice. It's been just having to shift their focuses, their priorities, children at home with remote learning. And we all know that time is of the essence when it comes to a healthy lifestyle. So for us as the Y, not only present day what we're doing, but we're very excited in a few weeks to really kick off our virtual Y platform that will have a full catalog of all styles of classes and trainings for our members, not only that have returned to us in person, but those that have yet to return and are ready to get back into active lifestyle, but just may not be ready to get back into the public setting yet. So more to come on that, but we're very excited to have a member benefit coming up in the upcoming weeks.
That's great. Yeah, we anticipate chatting with President Paul Gorman in the future about that as well. But in the short term, it is the 10th annual South Shore YMCA Frozen 5K on Sunday, January 31st. And we do have some information here, Patrick, on registration that we'd like to show folks. Maybe you could explain a little bit about how it actually all works.
I can, absolutely. So what we have in regards to our registration, for starters, any participant can go right to our website. And so for our website, that is ssymca.org. And when you get to our homepage and landing page, we're doing our registration right through there. It's not going to send you to a secondary site. It's all done in-house this year. So you'll see a tile box as you get to our website that will put you right into our registration. And from there, you can build your account and register for the race. And we will be taking, because this year is a unique year, we'll take registrations right up until the day of the event. So registration will be open until Saturday at midnight. So we encourage people to continue signing up if you haven't yet. And we have a couple different levels for sign up and registration. So for children and seniors, it's $25. And for our adults, it is $35. We did have a shirt deadline for this year that was earlier on this week on the 22nd. So those that have pre-registered by the 22nd will receive a race shirt. We're actually going to do that post-race this year. But for those, we're still encouraging to get up and get involved with this. As far as with our sponsors, we have been so pleased as well as just so blessed with the generosity of returning and new sponsors for this race. Roughly today, we are right around the $25,000 mark with our sponsorships for Sunday's event. And through our sponsorships, as mentioned before, not only through registrations, this is what will help us create the impact post-race. And through the generosity of the sponsors, not only do they help us day of, but they will help us then impact individuals and families. There's still plenty of opportunities for businesses to be a part of this and individuals to be a part of this as well. Because not only is it, especially when you get to certain levels of our sponsorship, a day of sponsorship, but there is recognition throughout the entire year, not only from a social standpoint and a website standpoint, but within our branches as well. So we do encourage businesses and organizations, if they are still interested, not only for Sunday, but moving forward as well, to partner with us. And clearly encouraging registrations for individuals from children to all ages above to be a part of Sunday.
Wow, those T-shirts are going to be collector's items. The ones that already have them. Hopefully the only virtual 5K that there will ever be, right?
That it is, right? There's a lot of what we've seen out there from shirts and marketing, and I know different organizations that I'm a part of as well. What are those creative spins you can put on this year or even into last year? Because you're right, you're hoping the word virtual, that's a one-time deal or a one-shot deal. So we're really looking forward to getting back in person next year, but excited for Sunday and really embracing the changes that we've put forth.
Yeah. Now, is it an actual competition, Patrick? Do you have like winners and prizes?
So this year's a little bit different. This year we're encouraging more of just social media content to show us your time, show us your most creative race, show us your most creative outfit as well that's out there. This year we are not doing medals. We're not doing the official age categories or time categories that we have in the past. And, we decided upon that because we really wanted to look at this more as a get up, get out, get active event rather than necessarily the competitive end of it as well. Again, hopefully this is a one-shot deal next year. We're back to the traditional, the timings, the medals along those lines, but we are encouraging all of our participants on Sunday to utilize our outlets, be that on Instagram, be that on Facebook as well, and send your posts in, hashtag SSYMCA, hashtag Frozen 5K 2021 as well. we will have posts and streams going throughout the day that we are encouraging all runners and participants to throw their pictures up, be that of themselves, their finishing time, their craziest outfit, their craziest route that's out there as well. I do know, and not as a well-seasoned runner, but I do know the apps that are out there as well. There are creative apps that you can get out there, and I've seen this. You can spell out letters and words. So, maybe there's someone who can spell out the YMCA within a type of route that's out there. We'd love to see pictures like that as well.
Oh.
Social media content.
There's a challenge to put out there. All right.
You may, well, if there's more snow, you might be able to just do it in your footprints.
Yeah, that's true too. Although it's definitely going to be a frozen 5K. Some of the coldest weather of the winter is on the way this weekend. So
it does. It does.
Now, do you have to be a Y member to participate?
You do not, no. Not unlike years past as well. We encourage the community to get up and get involved on this one. One of the benefits of hosting it at the branch in years past, it was actually a great day for us to also showcase the YMCA and the offerings that we have, the programs we have throughout the entire year. So if an individual was not a member, we could show them what the Y was all about. We are still going along those lines this year. We welcome members and we welcome community members, and as I mentioned before, out-of-state members to be a part of this day. So we are open for all, as we would be if this was an in-person special event.
And is there anything happening at the Hanover branch that day as well?
So not unlike ourselves, they have opened up their wellness center. They've opened up the ability for those that are swimmers to get in the pool to have a challenge for themselves. They are open and active, and their team has done a great job to not only promote and run through the Couch to 5K trainings leading up to this, but also day of, we are encouraging members that if it might just be a little too cold, come on by and get that workout in, get the run in, get the elliptical in, be a part of that day too. So they are open, and it's nice to see when we take a look at our registration, where a good amount of our members are coming. They are within the communities we serve, so they represent both the Quincy and Hanover Emerson branch.
Sure. Now, do other Ys have frozen 5Ks this weekend too? Or?
I'm willing to say we're one of the only ones in Massachusetts this weekend. I do know that some YMCA's across the state as well as across the country have gotten creative, going virtual, going smaller scale, really encouraging groups to get out and be active when there would have been an event typically held within their branch this year. You kind of look at that colder weather 5K series, and it's really your turkey trots into January as well. And for myself, in full transparency, being this the first year that I'm a part of this frozen 5K with the Quincy YMCA, it was interesting to know the backstory on it, and really the push, and really why people did participate was there was a little risk and a little craziness to it in that day of saying, well, it's 10 degrees, let's bundle up and get out there. But that's what makes a 5K and a road race appealing, right? What's that fun? What's the community feel that you can do, and then ultimately what's the great cause that it benefits?
Well, yeah, it's like the polar plungers, it's the same kind of mentality as anybody can do it on a sunny day in July, How about on a frozen day in January? Yeah.
Exactly. We may have to think about that next year with our Hanover location and the outdoor pool center. Maybe, hopefully we're not going down this road again, but maybe we'll have to keep one of those pools open just for a plunge and a 5K.
Sure. So again, it is the 10th annual George Trigger Burke South Shore YMCA Frozen 5K virtual road race, Sunday, January 31st. And Patrick, for folks who would like to learn more, maybe if you could, just a good website and phone number.
Terrific. Yeah. For our website, if you go to ssymca.org, and right on our landing page, as soon as you scroll down, you'll see our box that promotes the event. Click right on it. All details are in there, as well as registration information. My direct email is also located in there. And for a phone number, we always welcome anyone to call the branch at 617-479-8500. You can ask for myself or press 0 for a membership service representative, and they can give further details as well. But the website really sums it up nicely. It's a one-stop shop that can then not only provide information, show our sponsors, show a great promotional video from Mr. Burke himself, but also then guide those to our registration page.
Great. Anything else that we should let folks know about right now, do you think?
I just want to, for starters, thank all of our sponsors, for being an active part of this. This is what makes the event a success. I want to thank our YMCA membership as well as our Y extended community, including the city of Quincy, and those that have been very supportive of us, not only throughout the years, but in these trying times. And for everyone, we're looking at this. This is a great way to kick off the new year. It's a healthy new year. I like the fact that it's roughly 31 days from when New Year's resolutions really should kick in. So for any of us, including myself, who may have been delaying that resolution for this year, it's a great day to start it off on the fresh foot, no pun intended. But plenty of time to still register, as I mentioned. We'll leave registration for the event open until midnight midnight Sunday morning. That will remain open, so please register. And for those that have already signed up, thank you so much. We appreciate it. We look forward to posting those pictures, seeing those pictures that day.
Great. Really appreciate your time, Patrick. Great to talk to you, and I wish you great success with your event.
Thank you so much. I appreciate the time as well, and stay healthy and be well.
Thank you. You too. Another check of the frigid forecast for you for the rest of the day today. Mix of clouds and sun, maybe a snow shower. Temperatures barely getting to 20 degrees with wind chills below zero. Back down to the single digits tonight, and frosty weather continues tomorrow. We'll have lots of sunshine, but highs tomorrow only in the lower 20s with, again, wind chills much colder than that. A little milder on Sunday, a few more clouds. Highs Sunday into the mid-20s, and then watching some coastal storm activity starting Monday afternoon. Highs Monday into the upper 30s. Thanks again to Patrick Murphy for joining us today. Thanks to our crew. Thank you for watching. On Monday, we will learn about South Shore Support Services in Weymouth. And a reminder, if you could please participate in the Quincy COVID Memories Project by going to quincyculturalmemory.com and submitting your experiences of your life here in Quincy during the pandemic. You can also send your videos, photos, or what have you to the Thomas Crane Library, Attention Local History, 40 Washington Street, Quincy, 02169. Don't forget to go to our website anytime, qatv.org. You'll find all of our latest programs, news and information, video on demand, live streaming, and a whole lot more. For all of us here at Quincy Access Television, I'm Joe Catalano. Please stay safe.